Thank Lab Gardner Aviation, of course Husky, Life Beyond Runways, just bringing us great support that allows us to take this circuit across the U.S. Our heavyweights or our heavy touring competition performers are getting ready to stage for the first of our series here today, and it is going to be a great day. What is always so important to the pilots? Yesterday we were dealing with 25 knot direct crosswinds that were really threatening to swing around to a tailwind. Obviously that became a safety issue and we kind of knocked off the practices. Today, it is typical Minnesota summer. We got cloudy skies, I'd say broken clouds at around 25 to 3,500 feet. We've got a 5 to 8 mile an hour front right quartering headwind, and it is hot and it is humid. That means these engines are going to be struggling to produce full power. The props are going to lose some efficiency, the wings are going to be tougher. What it really boils down to is there's going to be a lot of finesse necessary for these pilots to be smooth to get the most out of their airplane. Looking at the lineup, our heavy touring, let's think about what this class is. These are 182s, the 180s, the 185s, and bigger. These are the heavyweight boys and girls flying big airplanes weighing more than 2,300 pounds. We've got two 182s in the lineup today. I'm sorry, we got three. All of them over 6 tail, what we call the bird back there. Andrew Petrie and Aaron Lewis, both out of Washington State, where I came from. They're out of Ellensburg with a couple of beautiful backcountry setup airplanes. Then we got Matt Schwartz. Mountain Guy, as everybody knows, in the backcountry world, flying his beautiful polished 180. William Gilstrap is always one of the favorites here, and we've got his 182 who was down with us at Greenville, Texas, doing a great job, really performing that airplane. And then we got one of probably the highlights, one of the toughest guys you see flying out here when it comes to STOL flying. And that is Kurt Leaders. That 185 of his, he can get more performance out of that, and he can get right to the edge just beautifully every single time. So that's going to be something everybody's going to really love seeing. And then we got a Miami boy. That's right. We've got pilots here from the very Pacific Northwest to the corners of the country. His beautiful polished 180 is here as well. So that is what is going to be good. Looking across the line here, our line judges are in position. Let's try to review what some of the rules are here. So the pilots are going to flow up to the line and get staged. To get the price of your airplane, they're going to put the main gear or their rear tires right on the line. It is going to be cleared to take off there. We use max performance effort, and we are measuring to see how short they take off. And the measuring point for bicycle gear is when the main tires lift off the ground. For a tail wheel equipped airplanes, it's when the mains also lift off the ground, so if the tail wheel touches later, that does not count as being too short. So we're looking for mains. When they come into land, the starting line now becomes the landing line. And they are looking to land on or after that line, and wherever the main wheel comes to a stop, so that is what their score is. It's the best deal. Now a takeoff and a landing gear. And he skipped us out through this rough grass dirt field at about 235, 240 feet. That was a good first effort. And that's a big thing here for competitors. They've got to make sure that they have one good takeoff and one good landing in the books. Because if you scratch, you get no scores, basically being disqualified. So, you get one good one in the books, and then you can go out and be aggressive. So let's see how we're going to do with Aaron here. Early on him, and he's just going to let it roll on through. He will reset. He will not be happy with that. Now Matt Chance here coming in with that beautiful 180. A little bit tougher on the tail here of airplanes, because when you land, you've got to max perform the braking, get the flaps off to increase the weight on the wheels and increase that braking effectiveness. But with the tail wheel, you brake too hard, you can bring it up on its nose. Just off the line with the deep flare up against this tail wheel, hit the tail line, that doesn't matter. It's the main good time. Well, we're going to land about 224 feet of this one. We're going to be flying a little bit later. I kind of wear a couple hats here besides the tails. So I'll be out here calling the action, and then when it comes time, I'll jump in my beautiful 170 4497 Bravo sitting over there across the other side. Thanks to Sport Aircraft Seats for help getting us out here to Minnesota and bringing all the action to you, the Husky National STOL. William Gilstrap, short final, 4-4 roof. But he does have one in the books, which is great. He's the third to land, and the second best score because we've already got one that strikes out for this round. Big thanks to McFarland, the great McFarland products, STCs, parts, supplies. Man, when you need it, they're so helpful to get you what you need. They've got a booth set up out here behind us, and it's great to have them on board with the Husky National STOL Series. Now, Kurt Leaders, this guy is good. Watch, we've got a touchdown with his brakes already set. This is a big 35 inch big wheels to a stop. This is coming fairly after we thought. It was considered for a real flying, but I think he's got a good in the first and but I expect that he's going to go out and really get aggressive with this tool on the second and third round. Now Warren, I know Warren didn't necessarily like his takeoff, may not be the best one he had, so let's see if we can put these VGs, the Sportsman cap on this 180 to good use. Beautiful polished lightweight airplane. Also past the line. Great touchdown, good racing effort. Set 200 was number one, and they may have seen something they didn't like. It looks like this 170 was kind of proceeding through the pattern. So that will not count against him. He'll go recycle, get back in line, and it's very good, assuming that was an abort or something outside of his control or the airplane. Talking with the air boss, that was just a simple precautionary slow, something he didn't like, and he was bored of the takeoff to go come and get him anyway. So safety is our number one priority. Whether you're flying with a family, you're flying in the off-airport environment, but certainly these pilots there, when you land at an airport, there's a lot of safety aspects designed into the airport. So pilot he tried to take off just a little bit too early. We're not relying on instant indicator at this point because it's really not indicating we're going too slow. It's more a feel of the airplane. It's a mental timing and practice. You might have thought that he was catching a gust of wind that was going to help him out there, and it simply wasn't there. So when he loaded up that AOA, he increased the coefficient of lift. He also greatly increased the pitching drag. You saw the airplane was much. Back in for Andrew Patry. So that very first one that he put down looks like it's probably going to be his best For the day, he's got one more. Man, that windsock has still this line dead. It has really calmed down here. That Chance had a good landing. He's got one in the books. He can be a little more aggressive with this approach. Brings it in behind the power curve on about a 1 degree glide path. In ground effect. Power 6,000. Now he run a little small tire. He's run 8.5, which there's some advantage to that when it comes to braking effectiveness. You have to fly a smoother touchdown to get all of that braking effectiveness realized or put in your advantage. But it can be an advantage. You don't necessarily have to be running big 28s, 29s, 31, 35-inch bush wheels. Okay, this should be Andrew Patriot, Zeus Air. Again, out of Ellensburg, Washington. Nice stable approach. He's working it. Practicing for that. Good fly to give you a stop. Looks like you a stop spot there for sure. Doing a rate of about 228.
Woo! That was a good effort right there. Now it's funny because Andrew's pretty new to the backcountry flying. He just loves going out. That airplane's equipped with Horton STOL VGs. He's got Selkirk baggage. Good two-bladed in composite propeller on it, and he is making good use of all the capabilities in that airplane and the modifications. But it's obvious that he's gone out and he's really practiced. He's only on the airplane for 2 years now. But he's made good use of the time with it. William on a little steeper approach than last time. Looking at that line, lands about 10 feet past, which is a really nice spot for it. Again, max braking, the flaps are up. Good rollout effort. I think they're showing him down there in about the 280-foot mark. All right, Kurt. Coming in here, Kurt Leaders, this beautiful 185. He's actually more of a mechanic than he is a pilot. Been flying since he was 13 years old, 4,500 hours, but he makes his living as a mechanic. Got second place at Sodbusters last year flying a Cessna 170 in the light touring category. Oh, touched that one down early. Add a little power on the big bounce. Those big bush tires will help you rolling over rocks, but if you drop them in too far, they will bounce you back in the air, and we definitely saw that example right there. All right, Warren. You know, the thing is, the competitors don't know what everybody else is scoring. They're still flying their own best airplane. At the end, they see what the score is. If they got to see what I got to see and watch everybody, they take a little pressure off themselves. So Warren's definitely looking for a podium. They're calling that a good touchdown right on the line. Look at that braking. Tail up, flying, full aft elevator. Flaps are up to maximize it. He got all of that at 170, about 169 feet. Nice job, Warren. He's wanting to take a little bit of Minnesota prize money and awards back to Naples, Florida. All right, our competitors are resetting for their third and final pass. Again, this is our our heavy touring class. So basically an FAA certified airplane. It's got to be single engine land. And 2,500 to 3,600 pounds for their max gross weight. Of course, today they're flying much lighter than that. You'll see 206s, 210s, the Mall M9s competing in this. Of course, today the Cessna lineup kind of has it with the 182s, 180s, and 185s. There's a reason they're a workhorse here in Minnesota, whether they're on floats or skis or wheels. Great flying machine, good, honest flying machines. They haul a great load. They've got good speed. They're easy to maintain. And do they ever perform, especially in the hands of really good, talented pilots. All right. In Jughead's official scorebook, I would say Andrew Patry out of Ellensburg is leading this heat. We've got traffic on downwind high over the field. They should not be an issue for us. He's running 8-inch wheels, what we call 8x6s on the mains. He's got a larger nose wheel as well, helps increase the prop clearance on the ground, roll over rougher terrain. Nice takeoff. Oh, the windsock is all kind of direct cross. What's weird is I can look at 4 or 5 different wind indicators around me, and they're all showing different things. But that takeoff is in about 168, 169 foot range, so that's about as good as his first one. I really think that he is the man to beat right now. Our light touring class is parked down to the left, all running up their engines, getting the oil warm. I can't wait to see that. That may be the tightest competition class this year. Aaron Greer on the roll. Can he beat his buddy? His flying partner, friend. Oh, that's a nice takeoff. Keep it airborne. He does. Excellent, excellent touch and feel on that liftoff. Minimal ground effect. Woo! And they're standing somewhere around the 155-foot range. Those are good numbers in a 170. And here they are in a 182. Of course, those Sportsman STOL kits out of Steen Aviation and the VG sure help. Mountain Matt giving it one more try. That's his best takeoff for sure. Right in at a 150-foot mark. He waited till the very end to bring everything out. I don't think he was sandbagging us, but it definitely was a max performance effort there at the end. Now, I have seen Bill Gilstrap just fly the heck out of this 182. It's been a little off on his performance so far this morning, so let's see if he can put it together in the third run as well. Better than his others, but it's not going to be good enough, I think. Now, realize we're talking combined scores, so it's the best takeoff and the best landing in the same pass. Great to see Leonardo out here capturing all the great images. If you've ever been reading AOPA, Flying Magazine, Leonardo's done several great features, photo features, and articles lately. One feature in the Minnesota family of the Moors this last month, and he's here capturing all the images, and he's got his beautiful 170 here as well. That was a great effort by Kurt Leaders. That was by far his best takeoff in his 185 for his third pass. So we got Warren getting ready to take off. We've got aircraft on final. Shouldn't be an issue. Oh, nice one from Warren. These guys are putting it together. The wind is picking up. I can just feel it right now. You may have just heard it in the microphone for the first time. That was perfect timing to get that wind. The pilots are cleared to take off, and then they've got a few seconds. They can kind of sit there, and the ones that are really sharp, they'll watch the flags out ahead of them. They'll try to time it with a gust. All right, it all comes down to this last landing. Andrew's got one in the books, and he's probably sitting on the podium right now, maybe at the top. Can he go one better? Can he beat himself right here? Nice approach. Oh, right on the line. Good break, and this absolutely could be his best effort. They're running just past the 175 marker. We're going to call it 182 unofficially. Good effort. He is going to go park that bird, and he is definitely going to feel good about how his trip from Ellensburg and his competition, his first Sodbusters STOL competition, went out here. And he's a rookie. He's a rookie that I think the veterans are going to start paying attention to when they see his name on the roster in the future. Come on, Aaron. There you go. Right on the line. That was well flown. Aaron made the trip out to Mayday STOL Dregs down in Wayne, Nebraska earlier this year. Didn't compete, but he did some training, got his toes kind of wet in the whole STOL world, and he was fired up to come out here and compete in his first competition with the Husky National STOL Series. Like I say, he did get third place in his first ever STOL contest down in Yuma, Arizona, what we call the Outlaw STOL, a new event that was just put on this year, and we welcome them to the backcountry STOL world. A little bit short for Mountain Matt. That one's going to scratch. How do you know it's a scratch? You look across the line, Judge, over there, and He gives the big old cross X with the arms, touching down before the line. We do have cameras on our line as well, folks, and that lets us go back and review if one of them is too close to call. All right, William. Looking a little fast on final visually. He's going to start sinking it, slowing it, raising that nose. There we go. A burst of power. Will it float all the way? Yes, it does. Good effort. He's going to throw it down for his third effort. Get it stopped. Woo! Coming in at about 245. Our last two heavy touring competitors are on final. Kurt Leaders, about 1,000 feet out, 30 feet up. Those 40-degree Cessna Fowler flaps, so effective at increasing the lift, increasing the drag. He's coming in. It's a stable approach. A little settle right there. There's the power to catch it. Pitch for airspeed, power for glide path. Nice one. Skidding those Alaska bush wheels to a stop. The tail drops, and the mains are sitting at around 208 feet. That's a nice job from Kurt on that first pass. Or, I'm sorry, his last pass is what I meant to say. His last pass. All righty. Who's going to win? Who's going to take home Sodbusters STOL Heavy Touring Competition title of first place winner? Warren Grobler, McFarland Aviation sponsored 180, touches down a little bit long. He's going to give it up at about extra 40 feet before he brings it to a stop. Not his best of the day, but still completely stopped at about 245 feet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, John Juck, head counsel here. That was the heavy touring at Husky National STOL Sodbuster. What a great event. Let's take it to the boys upstairs.
Seaplane training. I operate out of Madden's Resort up here in Brainerd, Minnesota, and we have two airplanes. We have a Cessna 172 on amphibs and a Super Cub on straight floats. The Super Cub is kept here on Madden's property, so in the morning, if you get your rating here in the morning after breakfast, have breakfast and hop in the airplane and we go fly. You don't even leave the resort. Madden's is owned and operated by a seaplane family, and you will have the experience of a lifetime here. If you're from out of town or out of state, this is a perfect place to get your seaplane rating. You're staying at the finest resort in Minnesota, and that in itself is an experience. And then you get your seaplane rating on top of that. What could be better?
Hey, I'm Chad, and I am Legend. So once I decided I wanted to buy a bush plane, a Super Cub, before I began my research, I had never even heard of Legend aircraft. I had heard of a couple different manufacturers, and that's really what I started with when I started researching. It was only through doing different Google searches and getting on the forums and hearing about this Legend brand that I began to really research them. And what I know today is Legend aircraft is the best kept secret in aviation. It doesn't appear to me that they spend their money on a lot of marketing and advertising. They spend that money on research and development and into building a great product. Another factor for me, aside from the build quality differences, the willingness to customize, the customer service, their willingness to sit down and almost do a kind of a ground up one-off creation. On top of that was the other manufacturer that I was looking at. If I were to spec out this plane as close as they could get, I was getting less value, a less rugged, less sturdy, not as well built airplane, and an airplane that ultimately at the end of the day was not exactly what I wanted. That plane spec'd out at about $100,000 more than the Legend aircraft version. And what I ended up with here with the AmeriCub was exactly what I wanted out of a bush plane and out of a Super Cub. And Legend Aircraft was willing to build that for me.
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good. Let's meet up at the compound group up. At 10-4. Yeah, for sure, dog. Good, little driver, straight on through.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Husky National STOL here at Sodbuster in Brainerd, Minnesota. We are on to our second division, the light tour, and this is my favorite category. Why? Because that's my beautiful Cessna 170 sitting over there that's going to be going up against the Dirty Bird, Kenneth Monger, the Colonel out here with the Intruder. These are the light touring Cessna 170s, 172s, some of the light Mauls, and these airplanes are this is probably going to be some of our tightest competition here today. We've got guys from Louisiana, Washington. This gentleman lined up right here, Dirty Bird, Jeff Pohl. He is actually the founder. He started Sodbusters STOL and ran the first event down in Malacca, Minnesota 2 years ago. I've flown the Dirty Bird. I've finished second to Jeff in that airplane more times than I want to talk about. He knows what he is doing in that airplane. He was taught by C.C. Pocock, who we're going to see flying here just a little bit later. But one of the guys that's been biting on his heels is this gentleman right here, Kenneth Monger, out of Arkansas. He's added a climb prop. He's added bigger gear. He's added VGs to his wings. He's added Sportsmans. He's stripped a lot of weight out of this airplane. This man is getting real serious about beating Jeff Pohl at his own game. Let's see how we're going to do right here today. Taking advantage of that left wind. Early takeoff. Oh, but that definitely was a settle back down. He got airborne at about 200, but touched back down at about 270. Colonel Matthew Peterson. That's right, a full bird Army Reserve colonel out of Louisiana. That means you can't understand what he's saying because he's talking Cajun and Army at the same time. This stock 172 with just the Horton droop tips is going to take a little bit longer to roll, but it still does a pretty good job. The Colonel's airborne out there at around 350 feet. Now here's a rookie out of Malacca, Minnesota as well. 180 horse. Oh, big early rotate, big bounce. That was probably just a little bit early for the rookie. This is Micah Lindstrom, kind of a protege of Jeff Pohl's, if you'd say so. Now here's a stock 170 engine-wise, 145 horsepower. Nate Kick here, he's out of Princeton, Minnesota. His first STOL competition. He does have a Sportsman cuff, but he's not running a climb prop, so we know we're going to see a little longer takeoff rolls simply because the prop is not producing as much thrust as a climb prop, kind of like a first gear on your car or motorbike. But that was a pretty good first effort. Lifted off cleanly, which means he's got a little bit more. He could pull a little sooner and get it airborne. Holy smokes, I've just barely got through the lineup on the departures, and we've already got him coming in on final. Oh, this is crazy. So, Jeff Pohl, the Dirty Bird, 180 horse, Lycoming 0360 with a Hartzell propeller, loves his Voyager prop. Again, a student of C.C. Pocock's. As a rookie, he went up to Valdez, Alaska, the mother of all STOL contests, and came back with a podium win up there, his first one ever. Nice! Dad says no, though. His dad is the line judge, and that was a pretty good, accurate assessment. That was just short by about 6 inches, and he has scratched. Tori, his girlfriend, sitting here. We got to play head games with Jeff all the time because, again, I'm racing for second against this guy. It seems like way too much. So a big old S. I got a shirt on under here that has a big S. That look at that. See that big S right there? That's for you, buddy. Scratch. Oh, my gosh. That's too bad. I feel bad for him. Now, Kenneth Monger, again, our Arkansas boy. Definitely hanging it on the prop out here. What we call behind the power curve, using that propeller airflow across the flaps and the tail to keep flying at a slower than published stall speed. Does he get it? No! Added just a bit of power, hoping to carry it to the line, and came up about 10 feet short. So we've got 2 scratches already in the competition. That means it is going to get even better. Of course, the guys up in the pattern, they don't know that's a scratch. That's where I have the advantage. I have a disadvantage because I have to take off the tux. I have to shift from the entertaining and interacting with the great crowd mode here and go fly a little bit later in the contest, which is not easy to do. But I do have the advantage of studying the wind and watching, seeing how everybody else has done. The Colonel floats it. Oh, just got a gust of wind when he didn't want it. It floated out to about 125 feet onto the brakes. That was looking really good. But as I look across our way, we've got flags blowing different directions on both sides of the start-finish line. There's a direct crosswind straight across from me of about 5-6 miles an hour. So these winds are squirrely. That is not going to make it easy. All right, again, here's our rookie, Micah Lindstrom. Sportsman kit on this airplane as well, 180 horse. This boils down to he's never done it before. Has he been practicing? It sure looks like it. That was smooth. That was up on the brakes, effective. Hey, we might have a new contender in the light touring bracket. Got some clapping going on for the local kid out of Malacca as well. Probably hacking how you say that name, but, well, I'm from out west. Everything's an Indian, a different Indian name out there. Okay, Nath Kick coming in with his 170. 145 horse. Running 8.5-inch tires. Sportsman, that'll definitely help slow 4 or 5 mile an hour off the speed. The climb prop doesn't hurt or help on the landing, so he can land just as short as anybody else with these mods. Just past the line, floats it to about 40 feet, but a good braking effort. Tail flying the whole time, full aft stick. I think he'll be fairly happy at about 230 feet for his first try. All right, that is the first round of the light tour, and everybody is down. Check them out as they come taxiing back by. Woo! That was good right there. That was good. I may have to just stand up here and show him the big S. I wish I had enough cord. You got it, buddy. You got it. I'm rooting for you. I'm pulling for you, bud. Of course, National STOL wouldn't be here without the great support out of Aviat Aircraft. We're luxury aircraft and backcountry meet, and man, are we going to see a great performance out of Austin Clemens with his Christian Husky. Many manufacturers may claim to have large mission profile, but only Husky delivers that promise. Semi-Fowler flaps, Husky allows for shorter takeoffs and landings to get you in and out of the backcountry in the most efficient way possible. Come meet America's favorite tail dragger, the Aviat Husky. Faster, stronger, more. Jeff pulls round number 2. He knows the first one did not count for anything. So as he waits for his competitors to finish taxiing by, he is looking to get out there and get it done. You know, if you're out there in your social media, we sure hope that you take a chance to go to Husky National STOL. Like it, Facebook it, share it with your friends, get everybody on the live feed. Dirty Bird is rolling down the runway, rotates, a little bit longer than maybe he wants. They're showing at about 148 feet, so that's a pretty good score. Ken got to watch this now. And I know Ken's first takeoff was just a little early on the pole. It sagged along in low ground effect, rolling the wheel. So let's see if he does a little better. I bet he will. Oh, nice, clean, crisp rotation. They're right at 175. That is definitely going to be a player for us. The Colonel, he ran Swamp STOL this year. A new event on the Husky National STOL Series down in Jennings, Louisiana. That was a great time for everybody who was able to make it down in the early COVID period. Come on, baby. Nurse that girl. Airborne. There you are. All right. Micah Lindstrom. Love that beautiful polished bird. Looks good. Polished airplanes or light airplanes. Big slam on the tail. A little bit early. Coming off in about 180 feet. Now this 170 here spends a lot of its time on skis in the winter. He's probably wishing the air was a little thicker, some cold winter air right now. Get that tail up high, reduce the drag as you accelerate, rotates 290 feet for our rookie, Nathaniel Kick out of Princeton, Minnesota. You know, if you're looking for aviation insurance, you should look no further than Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance. With an extensive team of professional aviators, they will give you the attention you deserve, building a relationship with an agent that you can trust. And who has work ethic second to none? Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance. Aviation protected. You know, I flew out from Washington State in my 170, and I ferry airplanes a lot as kind of a side job. And there's nothing that makes me happier when I get in an airplane and find out that it's got sport aircraft seats. From Maine to Kenai, Alaska, from Alaska to North Dakota, I've flown sport aircraft seats all over this country. And you talk about the best comfort, style, durability. Sport aircraft seats, look them up for your airplane interior needs. The Dirty Bird touches down long, but it made up for being scratched. So he was kind of playing the safety game there. Get one in the books. He gets a nod of acceptance from his girlfriend sitting over here next to me. That's one of the benefits here as well. Love you, Tori. Thank you for all your volunteer support out here as well, helping to make Sodbusters STOL a success. All right, Kenneth Monger's got that Skyhawk dragging in, old straight tail. Arkansas boy, can he get it done when he's not flying this? He's building the latest, greatest game bird. Oh! What was that? Was that good or bad? I didn't see it. That was so close to the line, I didn't see what the judge's indication was. Oh, we're going to. The Colonel is coming in. He floated with a gust of wind right there. Oh, and this one's going to touch down early on the scratch. All right, Kenny's score was good. 195. Way to put everything out there. That is sweet. Now, the rookie kind of had a good first pass. Let's see if he can show some consistency, because that's one of the keys in this sport as well. Definitely using the low approach, using the power, the prop, pull it, drop it, up with the flaps, good braking effort. That's a good second try out of the rookie. I think he's going to be glad he made the very short trip, about 20-minute flight up from Malacca. Looking at our wins. A little bit of headwind component before the line, a little bit of tailwind component after the line, a little bit of crosswind in between. Quite unpredictable as Nathaniel comes in. That's a good one. Touching down at about the 20-foot mark. Good braking. I like that. So that's 2 rounds of our light touring is completed. Woohoo! You know, last night we just had an absolute great time. We got to go over to the Madden's Resort. If you want to enjoy the comforts of Minnesota's classic resort while you train and earn your seaplane certification from one of the top seaplane pilots in the upper Midwest, Mary Alverson, then you should head on over to Madson's, or just bring your family up here, enjoy time on the lake. Great meal, beautiful golf course. Of course, the Madsen family has been pilots for years up here. Learn more about the seaplane certification package offered by Wings Over Water and Madden's on Gull Lake at their website, maddens.com. That's MADDENS.com. All right. It is still way too tight of a contest to call here in the light touring category. So, Did I just see a sticker on that kid's plane that says, "I love yoga pants"? I hope he's talking about seeing someone else wearing yoga pants and not him. That is like an automatic disqualification. The Dirty Bird is roaring, rotates. Oh, I think that's going to be his best of the day, but I know that's not up to Jeff's standards. You see the bright-colored numbers on Jeff's airplane. He's going to be partaking in Reno STOL Drags this year, the first new category at the Reno Air Races in over 25 years. So head on out in September. Kenneth Monger gets it rolling. Can he take his top spot on the podium? Oh, early pull, and it just doesn't want to fly. I think he's going to have to rely on his first pass to be his best. We'll see what the judges finally say on that. The Colonel's been long. He's been playing Army. He's been marching a long time on this airplane. He needs some Air Force assistance here. It's an airplane, sir. Fly it. Don't march it. There you go. We give him a bad time, and he's got one of the biggest hearts in the world, one of the nicest guys. Put on such a great event down at the Swamp STOL this spring. First time ever to run an event, and it was a big success. All right, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do? Oh, he was pulling a little early on the second takeoff. This one was no different. So I think we're going to see that Micah's first pass was probably his best of the day. But that's not the case for Nate Kick here. He's been getting better with each pass. He's here for the fun of it. He knows with the engine and prop mods or the prop that he's running, he can't be competitive in the competition, but he sure can work to improve his skills, enjoy the camaraderie, and that's one of the greatest things about the STOL world. We compete neck and neck out here, and it's tooth and nail fighting, but at the end of the day, we're all sitting back there, sitting around a campfire, enjoying a beverage or a great meal, being buddies, playing out with the kids, helping each other learn, fly better. And that's what's great about this community. It is all a bunch of friends that are here competing. National STOL brought to you by Husky, as we have been in Texas to start at Gainesville. We've been at Sun and Fun. We've been at Louisiana, Jennings for Swamp STOL. We're up here at Brainerd now as Jeff goes a little bit long on the Dirty Bird. And then we will finish the season down at Gainesville, Texas, and crown our first national champion for the whole year. Kenneth Monger coming in, just bringing it in over the fence at the airport out here. You know, Acme Aero Fab's focus is to provide products that make your aircraft safer, lighter, and perform better, which is the key to STOL competition. Watch these aircraft today. Acme Aero does a fantastic job at it, especially as we get into the bush and the experimental bush airplanes. You'll see the Acme products are running on lots of them. Oh, Ken touches down just ever so slightly early. Again, I think it's going to be down to his first pass of the day for him. Ooh, Tori, I got to get my mindset here. I got to shift gears real soon. All right, a little more water. Nerves are starting to pick up. I've been watching what my competitors are doing. We got a Beech 1900 taxiing out here at Brainerd. Folks are leaving the wrong time of day. They should be coming in and coming over here and enjoying the great crowd watching the Sodbusters STOL contest, not leaving town. Oh, and the Colonel rolls it just a little bit too early as well. Okay, is the rookie going to find himself on the podium in his first contest ever? I think there's a pretty high chance that Micah is going to do that. He's got a good one in the books. He's got a second one to back it up, and his third one is just as good, if not even better, perfectly on the line. This kid is serious. He's been spending some money on avgas. Did Jeff teach him everything? Like, dude. 192 on the score for that landing. Nice. All righty, and here comes our final. Nate Kick Bring it, buddy. Nice touchdown. Good breaking. And that brings it to the light touring division to a close at about 250 feet. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Jughead Council. That wraps up the main part of the light touring. I'm going to put the microphone down, take the tails off. I'm going to go get ready to fly. Jeff Poll's going to go park the Dirty Bird. He's going to come over here and take over on the microphone for me. So we're going to send it up to the boys upstairs, pay a few bills. I will see everybody in the airplane.
Resort up here in Brainerd, Minnesota, and we have 2 airplanes. We have a Cessna 172 on amphibs and a Super Cub on straight floats. The Super Cub is kept here on Madden's property, so in the morning, if you get your rating here in the morning after breakfast, you have breakfast and you hop in the airplane and we go fly. You don't even leave the resort. Madden's is owned and operated by a seaplane family, and you will have the experience of a lifetime here. If you're from out of town or out of state, this is the perfect place to get your seaplane rating. You're staying at the finest resort in Minnesota, and that in itself is an experience. And then you get your seaplane rating on top of that. What could be better?
Ladies and gentlemen, your MC is jumping in his 170. He's going to jump in here with the Bush class up first. And that beautiful yellow and black Aviat Husky is none other than Austin Clemens. He's like 12 years old, and he flies like a frickin' beast. Now, Austin, he's got a unique setup there. He's got a Lycoming 0360, 180 horsepower, and he's spinning an MT propeller that goes beta. For those of you that don't know what that means, it means it goes in reverse. So when Austin comes over the line, he's going to throw that prop in reverse and throw all sorts of dust, stop in a ridiculous short amount of time, and make all of us look bad. Now, I've flown with Austin in just about every National STOL Series competition around the country here, and that kid is something else. I had the pleasure of flying against him in Oshkosh here this year. If you guys are there around the STOL Corral, Austin was there. Myself, Jeff Poll, fly the Dirty Bird, not very well, as you saw here just a few minutes ago. But Austin took first place in Oshkosh, and I tell you what, he is a force to be reckoned with. And he's not really 12. He's like 18. But he looks like he's 12. And he flies like Bob Hoover. Come on, Austin. Let's see what you can do today. Now, Austin's been flying since he's like 12 years old. He's got time in just about everything you can imagine from 172s, Bonanzas, and Barons, and a Stearman of all things. The kid flies better than probably just about any Stearman pilot out there. Here he goes. Come on, Austin. That was a nice, solid takeoff. I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting feedback here on footages, but looked like a good 200 foot maybe. 192 for Austin. 192 for Austin. Up next is Alan Gades. Or Goddess, rather, sorry. He's in a Husky A1B, similar to Austin's, but he does not have that reversible propeller. So he's got an 0360. Similar takeoffs, I'm sure. Come on, Alan. Pull those flaps and rotate. That was a nice, clean takeoff. Perfectly executed. Up next is your MC, John Jughead Council, flying that beautiful Cessna 170. Now, this guy wears 2 hats at these competitions. Not only does he MC for you guys, he flies his airplane too. May not sound like much, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot of extra stress on a guy like Jughead when he's wearing 2 hats, but he always flies really well. Come on, Jughead. Get her off the ground. There you go, big guy. Up next, I don't have a piece of paper for that guy, so I'm just going to make things up. We're going to call him Pete. And Pete is flying a red and white 170, similar to the rest of them. He's got big 31-inch tires. He's swinging a fixed-pitch propeller on an 0300, so he's 145 horse at 2,700 RPM. Let's see how he does. Come on, Pete. I'll find out his real name later. That was a nice, clean takeoff for Pete. Nope. We're going to say he's from Utah and has 3 wives. Come on, Austin, and that is a scratch. Doggone, he's starting to fly like me. Up next is Alan Goddess in his Husky A1B. Come to think of it, I did not hear Austin's prop go beta. He might have had a little bit too high RPM. Come on, Alan. He's across the line. We'll take it. Coming up next is John Jughead Council in his Cessna 170. Come on, Jughead. Make me look really, really bad. Oh, he's nice and low. Get the power in there, buddy. Power, power, power. Oh, he got it. Now, I tell you what, folks, that is not easy to do. When you're skimming a foot across the dirt, a sparrow's toot will put you on the ground before the line. Good job, Jughead. Here comes Imaginary Pete from Utah with 3 wives. Cooking in here a little fast. I'm told it may be Joe, but we're just going to go with Pete. Pete come clear across the line, touchdown about the 150 mark here. He's working it. Well, I didn't hear a score for Pete from Utah. Everybody wave at Boy Wonder here in that beautiful yellow and black Aviat Husky. Look at that. You have got a crowd waving at you. It's probably your mom and dad, though. Yep, sure is. Hi, Dwayne. Show some love for Allen. He's already passed, but, you know, we'll do it anyway. And Jughead, your MC in that 170, that blue and silver. Wave at that guy. Come on. I'm going to tell him the whole crowd waved, even though you didn't. I'm just going to tell him you did. We got to make him feel good. Austin's back to the line. Hopefully, he gets the opportunity to throw that thing in beta for you folks. I tell you what, it is pretty impressive. When you can stop an airplane that weighs probably about 1,350 pounds and stop it in about 65, 75 feet, it's a head turner. Nail that takeoff. There you go, buddy. That was nice and clean. Could not have timed that any more perfect. Up next is Alan Goddess. He's a hometown Minnesota boy from Montevideo. He likes to make his way around to these fly-ins and show his support. He just decided here this morning he was going to fly just to give you guys a show. Another nice clean takeoff from Alan. He's got that thing dialed in. Now, normally Jughead and I are flying in the same class. We like to heckle each other, and he probably did that to me when I was in there really messing up my my landings there. But I'm going to wish this guy the best of luck. He's a great guy, great friend, a great aviator, and can he do it? Nice and clean, Jughead. Perfect road. Oh, he got it. Good job, Jughead. Now here comes Pete from Utah. You could probably Google search the N number of his airplane, find out where he's really from and his real name, and he probably doesn't really have 3 wives in Utah. Come on, Pete, give these guys a show. Pulls those flaps and rotate. Nice and clean takeoff for Pete. Here comes Austin Clemens. Let's hope he can get the RPMs low enough, get that prop in beta, and show you how short that thing can really land. There it is, folks. Look at that. Throw that thing right in reverse. Austin, I'm not going to tell you. You can't hear me right now, but everybody's clapping for you. You and I are going to have a grudge match tomorrow. $123 feet for Austin Clemens in that beautiful yellow and black Husky. Coming in here on short final, Alan Goddess from Montevideo, Minnesota. Getting that thing slowed down. Dump those flaps, buddy. There we go. He's just here having fun. He doesn't care what place he takes. A lot like most of us out here. We're here to have fun, hang out with our friends that we only get to see these competitions when they pop up around the country. Here comes Jughead. He's working that power. The wind gets a little goofy up there, switching around from a headwind to a tailwind. Come on, Jughead. Cross the line. Boy, that was... Oh, the big red X. Doggone it. Well, when this guy comes around, guys, remember, this is your MC, John Jughead Council, in the blue and silver 170. He came in all the way from Washington to come here and talk to you folks. Show him a little love when he comes by. Oh, we got another scratch for Pete from Utah. I can't wait till Jughead gets back and takes his mic from me because I'm, number one, I'm not an announcer. Number two, I need a drink of water. I'm really thirsty. I'm talking to you guys. I was flying my airplane. I'm thirsty. Had nothing to drink. I didn't do very good, so I was crying, and that dehydrates you. Good job, Austin. If you notice the tail art on his airplane, if you look at an Aviat Husky, that on his tail is just a little bit meaner. here's Alan's. See that nice, pretty little husky, cute thing? When you see Austin's, it's a mean-looking dog. And that's what Austin is. He's a mean 12-year-old dog. But we love him. Hi, Jughead. Blowing kisses at you too, buddy. I can't wait to get over here and take your mic back. This is their third and final run. Hi, Pete from Utah. Now, on Austin's last run, you got to see what that beta prop can do by MT. That thing is amazing. Up next, Alan Gades on a video. You know, if I could get one of those MT prop, I could get an MT prop for my 170 and be able to go beta, but I'd have to sell my firstborn, and I don't have any kids, so can't afford that. I'll have to stick with my Hartzell Trailblazer. Come on, Alan, give him a show. Pulls the flaps, and you know what? Alan is as consistent as you can get on those takeoffs. Absolutely clean. The tail barely touches, the mains come off. That is when you know you have time to take off perfectly. The wind is getting kind of gusty here, and it's changed from a headwind to a tailwind, so it makes it really tricky when you're coming in on short final. Wow, it's really, I'm getting dust and dirt below my face. It's picking up pretty good here all of a sudden. I'd bet it's a good 8-knot crosswind. May not sound like much, but it gets to be a bit of a handful. And it's also a quartering tailwind at times by the looks of it. It gets to be a handful in short final when you're running these airplanes at minimum controllable airspeed. Gets to be a real handful. Here's Pete from Utah. He's going to try his hand at a quartering tailwind takeoff. Watch that windsock, guys. That's going to extend these takeoff and landing rolls tremendously. Makes it very difficult to hit the line. Nice clean takeoff for Pete from Utah. Coming in about ready to flex his muscles with his beta propeller by MT is Austin Clemens. Working that rudder. Pulling back to an idle and beta. Just like that. He could back that thing all the way up to the line if he wanted to. But we're still going to count from where his main wheel stopped. Alan got us from on a video on short final in that Husky, just like Austin's missing that MT reversible propeller. If you watch that windsock straight across the runway, he has got a quartering tailwind at about 8 knots. Not fun, and I think he got it. He is in. Good job, Alan. Well, I hope that wind switches around. I hate to have to switch this runway, but folks, if we have to do it, it only takes a handful of minutes. We get all the volunteers out there and we swap it around. It's not that big of a deal. Here comes your MC, John Jughead Council in the Cessna 170. He's working that power to make the line, and he's got it. Good job, Jughead. Dump those flaps, get on the brakes. Now, this was their last run, folks. These guys come by, give them a wave, clap, whistle. Girls, Austin is not single. He's got a girlfriend that knows kung fu and stuff. She's like a samurai. Pete from Utah, can you get her done with that quartering tailwind? He's got it. Good job. Bringing her in a little long touchdown, about the 100-foot mark. And he's opening the door. He's waving to you if you look at Pete from Utah down there. Those Cessna doors sometimes pop open. I had that happen at a STOL drag race one time, and I had about a 30-foot streamer of paper towels coming out of my airplane, and the FAA is there, and they're like, you have to have a sterile cockpit, nothing in the cockpit. Well, I'm thinking, well, what's the big deal with having a roll of paper towels? You get hit with a roll of paper towels, what's going to happen, right? Well, my door opened up just like Pete from Utah's, and I had about a 30-foot streamer of paper towels. It's kind of embarrassing.
I got that right turn. We're good. Let's meet up at the compound group up. 10-4.
Yeah, for sure, dog.
Good, little driver, straight on through.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jughead Council here. We are back with you at the Husky National STOL Sodbuster event. I just finished flying my 3 passes in my 170 with the light touring category. And patooey, God, that was terrible. But I didn't scratch like Jeff Pohl. So at least I didn't get told I scratched. Mind your own business, lady. Who are you anyway? Security. Come take care of the cute girl. My first takeoff was I just kind of I picked a distance in my mind. I said, okay, I'm going to go to about 200 feet, pull, see what it does, and it didn't fly. The winds are really squirrely right now, and not in a good way. They're up and down and left and right, headwind, tailwind. The first landing was okay. I gave away probably 30 feet on the landing, but it was so-so. I was happy with my second takeoff. I pulled a little earlier. It flew cleanly. And the second landing I was pleased with. I didn't get any practice in yesterday with the big crosswinds. And so I was pleased with my second pass. The third pass, wind started to pick up right as I was getting ready to go. And I was trying to take advantage of that. So I pulled definitely earlier than I was. And it wasn't enough wind. Or it had died off on me or something. And it went long. It was terrible. And that landing, the third landing, I just basically let it roll. I knew there was no reason trying to get on it because the takeoff was terrible. So I don't think I'd knocked anybody off the top of the podium on the first day of competition here in the light touring. But here we're going to kick off our experimental bush category. This beautiful Legend Cub. What we call a MOAC, or a mother of all cubs. That beautiful thing is being flown by Brian Steck. This is his first STOL contest. Now, he does a lot of off-airport flying, but he is first contest. Now, here's a man that knows contest. He's won Valdez, he's won Oshkosh, he's won just about everything. This is an experimental Cessna 170. None other than Bush, Arizona, C.C. Pocock. This airplane operates in the experimental category. We're running nitrous on a low 300. We're running an experimental prop. We've got added flight controls, i.e. the flaps are extended, the ailerons are extended, leading edge slats. This thing has everything in the world going for it, but it still has a beautiful round tail. Now here's one everybody in internet land knows. This is Ghost, Corey Robbins, and his Carbon Cub. Nice quick rear rotation at about 100 feet. And a legend. This guy was flying off airport and doing cool things well before it was cool. This is Pops Dory, flying Coyote Ugly, his experimental Super Cub, big 35-inch bush wheels, leading edge slats, VGs, customized motor like nobody's business, and this man has flown all over everywhere. He can get it done. It's about 70 feet mark right there. Yeah, the old man. We call him that with the most respect. Hey, here's one of our new guys in the business. He's the host of Old Green Plain with his family's Cessna 182, but this is his Carbon Cub, his Sport Cub. This is Colin Caneva out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Made the trip up. He was the host of the Stol Drag events down in Lincoln earlier. His first Stol traditional competition, he gets airborne at about 130 feet, so I know Colin's going to be working off the rookie jitters here. So, woo! Oh, man. What a fun day we are having here, though. Of course, big, huge thanks to Ladd Gardner Aviation, AirTech Coatings. You know, I just had a chance to fly 2 beautiful airplanes with AirTech Coatings, and I had my buddy, he was repainting the wings on his 48 170 reg wing, and we got him hooked up with AirTech. AirTech's been revolutionizing aircraft paint since 1981. Their polyurethane technology offers the best for pilots and aircraft owners. All right, here's Brian Steck, his mother of all Cubs, hanging it low and slow right on the line. They called it good. Max braking, the flaps are up. Oh, come on, get stopped, get stopped. 160 feet approximately. That's a good first chance at it. Those AirTech coatings, they're flexible, they're fire resistant, they're chemical resistant, and that wet look that you get with the polyurethane, an infinite number of choice of colors, both standard and metallic. Remember, AirTech coatings will make your paint fly. Now, CC Pocock's going to come in here. He's not using nitrous for the landing. He is using those beautiful Fowler flaps, the big Alaska bush wheels, hanging it, those slats doing so much work. Look at this. Ground speed of about 20 mile an hour on final, but he touches down 3-4 feet short. You heard the power coming on. He was trying to catch it, but not quite there, which is not what he likes to see. This man is ultra competitive. And he's good. He's won Valdez. He's won Gainesville. He's won just about everything almost. He's a member of our Oshkosh STOL team. If you were in Oshkosh last week, you may have seen him down there. And, of course, most importantly, if you want to really learn how to max perform your airplane, learn mountain flying, backcountry flying, STOL flying like this, CC is the man to go to out in Cal, Nevada. Ghost, floating it on in, riding on the wings of about 250,000 subscribers. Corey Robin gets it down. A little bit of power at the end caused him to float long, about 225 on the landing. He won't like that at all. He will not like that at all. All right, Pop's Dory's cutting the corner on final here. You want some fun, go back and Google, go to YouTube and Pop's Dory. He was making videos 10, 12 years ago and sitting up on the high ridges in Nevada. He was originally out of Eli, Nevada area, now makes his home in Arizona in Boise, Idaho, where Pops Jr. and his grandson, Pops III, are there. Great flying family. They're all just back at Oshkosh as well. Ugly Coyote, this is it. This is it. Oh, a little bit of a float. Touches down at the 25-foot mark. Gets it stopped at about the 125, playing that wind. Beautiful 185 amphib taxiing in here at Brainerd for those out in internet land. Can't quite see that. Oh, we are having fun, and tomorrow it's going to get even better. We are back here for the finals tomorrow. Is it going to be the mother of all Cubs, the Legend Cub that knocks first place out on the experimental bush, or Carbon Cub going to defend it? Or is it that one-off experimental Cub of Pop's Dory? Colin makes a good first pass landing, touching down at the 20-foot mark. Good consistent braking, and it looks like a little bit of brake fade there at the end. You could see that because the airplane was starting to slowly turn to the right. Tells me that left brake wasn't producing as much braking effectiveness as the right one. And that's an issue out here. That's why so many guys are running upgraded brake systems. Is we're landing with the brakes already set, and we are max performing the brake, the hoses, the fittings, the calipers, the disc, the pads, all of it. All right. Waiting for the experimental team to all get taxied back in here. You know, the Husky National STOL T-shirts, we got hats and merchandise are available right here behind the show center booth, and definitely want to grab some of those souvenirs to be taken home for you. And if you're out there on your phone, if you're taking selfies and videos today, make sure to switch on over to Instagram. Give Husky National STOL a follow, and you can find them at National STOL. Then give a follow on Facebook at Husky National STOL. You can stay in the loop with all the upcoming competitions, see profiles from our competitors, and STOL-related information out there. Great look at the sternum propeller pulling bush air and CC. Best tugs is what he uses to get that airplane in and out of his hangar in Cal Navarre. Of course, grip lock ties. Big fan of the grip lock ties here. Corey's got that on his leading edge. Reusable zip ties that have protective rubber coating so that they don't scratch, dig into wires or steel components. There we go, Pops. I like that. November X-Ray 111 Echo. That's a cool tail number, and the paint scheme, such a fun. All right, this Titan 370 powered Legend Cub. He is trying to set the standard out here, and American Legend really does that with their airplanes. This is, again, his first competition for him. As Colin Kniev is going by, be sure to go to Carbon TV and check out the Old Green Plane and the wonderful series that they have on TV, Exploring Nebraska. That's a nice takeoff at about 120 feet for Brian Steck because the wind is, well, it's mainly a crosswind component right now. When I turned final on my last pass, we had a big tailwind component out at the far south edges of the airfield and a little bit of a tailwind here at the start-finish line. CC's got some wind on the face. Can he take advantage of it? He rudders left into it, and he does. Airborne at about 80 feet. You hear the RPMs on the engine start to come back down. That's about 100 horse of nitrous oxide he's pumping through that 0300, and then comes off of it and just safely flies away. Nice liftoff with the Ghost. Corey doing well, right in the same exact range. All three of these airplanes, or actually all four of these airplanes, Coyote Ugly, Ghost, the MOAC, they are all just right there, neck and neck. And, of course, CC in there as well. It's pretty bad when a light sport Carbon Cub, kind of stock one, is the long guy on the field. Woo! Pop Story, showing the old man can still get it done at about 80 feet. That is setting the standard, I think, in this category right now. But look at this guy. Colin has been going to school. He's been watching those experts ahead of him. He goes to the far right side. He angles into the wind. I tried this technique on my last landing. I just pulled the flaps a little too early. Oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah! I think all four of those takeoffs were probably within 5 feet of each other. That is how close the competition is. And we're looking at 4 different types of airplanes right here. Actually, 5 different types of airplanes all right here. 81 was the shortest takeoff Pops Dory on that round. Now let's see, can they follow it up with the landings? Because remember, we need our best takeoff and our best landing score on the same pass. Look at the rudder work Brian Steck is doing here. That rudder is going full scale deflection, elevator full aft. A little bit long, but I think he's going to be happy with it because it's been tough wind today. About 130 feet, added to about a 90-foot takeoff or a 220 approximate combined score. I think that's pretty good for the first day out and for a rookie in competition. I really encourage everybody here when we're done, go back behind us, talk to the pilots, check out these airplanes. That's some beautiful workmanship on that mother of all Cubs from Legend Cub. CC working the wind. Nobody can fly a 170 like he does. Nobody can teach you to fly a 170 like he does. Look at that, just hanging. Get it there. Oh, it's a little short. See, the problem when you're in that low ground effect, if you add too much power, it turns into forward velocity and it just carries you way too long. Obviously, that one, though, needed to carry another 20 feet to get a good score. I think that's 2 big X's for CC. He doesn't like it when he scratches out of competitions. I've seen that once before. He wasn't very happy the rest of the day. All right, Ghost floated it low and long on his first one. Let's see if he can get it slowed down and maximize what this Carbon Cub will do. Oh, he's not going to like that. He gave up 75 feet on the float. Of course, as we wait for Pop's door to get back here, he's doing about 20 miles an hour across the ground, so it takes a little bit of time. Good time to tell you about McFarland Aviation. They are out here today. They design and manufacture FAA, PMA parts for hundreds of aircraft, Cessnas, Pipers, Husky, Experimentals. They've got all the STCs on the MT propellers that you see so many people using, not only in the National STOL Series, but in just backcountry flying. They're smooth. They pull. Oh, Pops drops it in short. Oh, that is too bad because he had the takeoff to win it. Over 30,000 parts from McFarland out there to help maintain your airplanes. Be sure to stop by their booth tonight or here this afternoon. Check them out. Talk to them how they can make your airplanes safer, lighter, stronger. Come on, Corey. Nice job. Mr. Kadneva, the old green plane. The old green plane is a swept tail 182 of his. That was his father's. And he does a wonderful series there on Carbon TV. Of course, you can find him on all your social media as well. Ooh, this light experimental. This is having fun, or alternate bush, I should say. Alternate bush class right here. This is some fun stuff going on. Next month, Husky National STOL will be hosting the season championships at Gainesville Regional Airport down in Gainesville, Texas. I sure encourage everybody to get down there, get signed up. You don't have to. You can still. So Gainesville is going to be like a two-part contest. We're going to have the local contest that you can go win basically the day money, and it's going to have the national year-end awards as well. CC loading up a bunch of dust there for the Ghost, giving us that extra little complexion we need here. I'll take dust over mud puddles, though, any day. Come on, Pops, you almost had it. Just short, just short. You look at that smile on Pop's face, and it looks like he's having the time of his life. You really want to see the smile. You watch when he's got his little grandson or one of his granddaughters with him, and he's out there enjoying airplanes and love of aviation with the third generation of Pops. Great family. Oh, the mother of all Cubs tried for it all on that one. The leading edge slats weren't enough, and he drags it long on that takeoff. CC's got to put it all together here. He needs a good landing in the books. So go aggressive on the takeoff. Conservative on the landing, but I don't think he's really going to like that takeoff either. That's out at about 128 feet. Our flags along the National Husky line are starting to be pretty calm. Oh, the Ghost, Corey Robbins, he went for it all there, and he had a pretty good effort. Maybe went a half a second early, but I think he'll be pretty happy with that. Of course, the big extended gear on Coyote Uglies, the VGs up top. Helped to get that AOA for that initial takeoff rotation, and it gets him airborne right at about the 99 feet mark. Good 15 feet longer, almost 20% longer than his last takeoff, though. So let's see if Pops can bring it back around and land it on the line and get a good landing and keep himself on the podium or at the top of the podium. So last takeoff, Colin went from the far right-hand side. This side he's gone over to the far left. Oh, that was a good one. He's only been flying that airplane a year. He's got about 200 hours in it. He's a new competitor to the STOL and off-airport world, and he's gone to school. He's watched some of the best. He's trained with some of the best, and Colin's really getting that airplane figured out. All right, here's our American legend, the most innovative advanced Cubs today, and he hangs it on perfectly, hits it just past the line. That is exactly what that airplane is designed to do. And they are showing it here today. Nice job, Brian. Texas boy up there with that airplane. If there's any notion in your mind that flying these airplanes is a sensation, both beautiful and profound, you owe it to yourself to try an American Legend aircraft on. Realize your dreams. American Legend aircraft. Now, the old 1955 170 workhorse. Converted to the experimental world, CC is pushing the envelope of aerodynamics, airframe, engine, propellers. Not too bad. He needed a good one. He got it in at about 168 feet. I know he won't be completely happy with that, but it's better than when he had on his first two. Torrey will look way low to the left. Ghost is like out there waving to people on the freeway. He's working on his followership. Probably has some fans out there. Now he's been having to add some power and float long. Let's see if he can be a little more stable and get it nailed this time. It's looking better. Chop it. Good. That's a good one. Down in the first 20 feet within the zone. People ask, how do we do this? Well, it really boils down to practice, practice, practice. And you don't have to have a short airfield or a short off-airport landing spot to practice. If you're flying your 182 at a 10,000-foot strip, you still can pick one exact stripe on the runway and make sure you land within 100 feet of it. And then when you get better, make sure you land within 50 feet of it. And then make sure you can land within 10, 20, or 5 feet of that line. That's how these pilots develop their skills. It's all the fundamental skills that every pilot learns. They've just refined it and practiced it and taken it to a much higher level. Oh, look at Pops looking out the side. That's a good one. That's a good one. Doing everything he can to get him stopped. It's tough with those heel brakes, especially when you got feet as big as Dory's there. About 130 feet. Ghost has gone to the alternating light flashing mode here. He's getting his... Oh, no, this is Colin flashing the lights. That's what it is. Come on, nice. Oh, a little bit lit extra on that last burst of power, but not bad at all. Woo! This is fun. This is fun. If I don't know how many locals we have in the crowd out here, but a big thanks. We have just had so much fun in Brainerd this weekend. The hospitality, the wonderful scenery. Oh, the restaurants, just getting to know a lot of the locals. Of course, big thanks to the airport administration here, all the men and women over at North Point Aviation supporting us here. It has been a very, very fun time. And that wraps up our alternate bush class out here. Now we are coming to what we call the lightweights. We'd call them a heavyweight in any other sport, but here in the STOL world, these are the lightweights. This is the light sport and light experimentals. These are the most high-performance, shortest taking off and landing airplanes that you will see out here, and some of our crowd favorites. We're going to start it off with this beautiful, highly modified Rans S7. That is none other than Hal Stockman. The airplane has about a 700-pound empty weight. Lawnmower 3 is what he calls it. He learned to fly it out of Elko, Nevada, up in the high desert where he lives. Guy's got the biggest heart in the world. If you drove out here to the airport this morning about 7 a.m., he was giving rides to kids and then getting his airplane all ready and modified back down to competition mode. And now we're going to turn it back over to our producers. We're going to thank some of our great sponsors. Jughead Council here. I'm going to take a break. We'll see you in a bit.
I got that right turn. We're good. Let's meet up at the compound group up. At 10-4. Yeah, for sure, dog. Good, little driver. Straight on through.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to National STOL here at Sodbuster in Brainerd, Minnesota. Jughead Council, thanks to Sport Aircraft Seats for getting me out here to bring you all the action. And it is getting good. The seat cushions might get a little bit tight here on the rear end because the competition is going to get really close. Hal Stockman, Lawnmower 3, his Rotax-powered Rans F7 is getting ready to compete against Jason Boussat. Jason Boussat in that Rans of his, I can't even tell you what model it is anymore because there's nothing used to it on it, but it's got that Edge Performance Yamaha super motor on it. He is the first airplane to knock off the all-time champion Steve Henry with Yeehaw 6 in his Yamaha, so I know we're going to have some stiff competition here. Love to get some wind blowing and see these guys in the 50-foot range take off in landings. Hal Stockman here. Low density altitude, unlike what he is used to at home in Nevada. It's not uncommon for him to be flying at 9,000-foot DAs. He's got Lawnmower 3 rolling. It's going to get airborne at about 75 feet in that little lightweight airplane. Now, Boussat, he comes down to us from Alberta, Canada. He's a mountain sheep and goat hunting guide, has a custom front end and bumper business up there. And this Rans Coyote modification is extremely modified, and it has been successful. This year, he won the new Holstein STOL competition right before Oshkosh. He got second at Oshkosh. Woohoo! Airborne at about 60 feet. That is why that Edge Performance motor, the Yamaha, out of a snow machine. That's right. You guys up here know about snow machines. Out west, we climb mountains with them. Out here, you guys run fast across lakes with them. And that Yamaha engine right there out of the old phasers, that's why the airplane guys are starting to love those motors. Super tough. You can throw a lot of extra juice into them. Here's a beautiful Legend Cub. Oh, yeah, Joshua Broughton out of Rossow, Minnesota. Local boy and his son here having fun flying their first time. It is great to have them in the field. Our Highlander here. Now he's got a 100-horse Rotax. This is kind of a stock Highlander that was really set up and designed more for the cruise mode. Look at that wing, nice skinny wing. It's not going to have the STOL performance that you're going to see out of some of the other Highlanders. And I say that, it's like he's going to take off at 250, 280 feet, which is really short compared to everything else in the world. It's kind of long for this category. Well, here he is. This is the legend, Steve Henry, Yeehaw 6 out of Nampa, Idaho. He started this crazy train of the Yamaha Edge Performance engines. More custom modifications on his aircraft than any Highlander out there. Oh! Less than 1.5 airplane lengths, 300 horsepower pumping him out, and he is airborne in about the 35 to 40 foot range. Of course, Wild West Aircraft is Steve Henry's business, where he will guide you, help you sell and build your own Highlander. And I highly encourage anybody looking for a great experimental aircraft. This is a great one out there. Oh, wow. This is good. A little bit of wind. I like the windsock out there, but Tori, these clouds or these flags right in front of us show more crosswind than anything. Hal Stockman's coming in on final. He's going to angle from his right to his left and try to take advantage of some of that headwind component. Steal a little wind from the good Lord. Perfectly on the line, the way Hal does it every time. Flaps up, max brakes, a little bit of brake fade on the right. He'll get it stopped at about 110 feet. Now, those here at the crowd can see no door on Lawnmower 3, and Hal has those coveralls on. He's a retired heavy engine mechanic out in the mines of Nevada. In his entire life, he has worn those coveralls with the reflective arm and leg bands, and he still does today at every flying event. I don't think Hal actually knows how to fly if he's not wearing those coveralls. Okay, Mr. Jason Boussat, our Canadian brother to the north. Look at all that rudder hanging in there. He's going to get those Acme shots. They work out today. Looking over to the left around his instrument panel. Little power. There it is. Boom! That was good on the line, stopped at about 55 feet. That is what that airplane is all about, and that is why he was the first airplane ever to beat Steve Henry. All right. Great call right here from our American Legend Cub. Runway wasn't clear, so he went around, and that's exactly what you should do in any situation that's just not safe. Joshua Broughton there, taking that Legend AL-11, American Legend Model 11. Great airplane. Here's our Highlander. Little burst of power to carry the line. He gets it, ever so short. He's a rookie at this. He's out here learning. And after watching how he's progressed from yesterday's practice through today, he is doing a very nice job there. And it's sure great to have Marlo Thoof with us, becoming part of the STOL competition community. He comes out of Russell, Minnesota. Of course, the Rotax 912 engine in that Highlander, and empty weight of about 800 pounds. Gross of 1,500. That's pretty good when you've got 700-pound useful load in an airplane that light. Steve just hanging it on the prop. Nice, controlled, stable. There's nobody that practices more takeoff and landings than Steve. Lands with the wheels completely locked up with those Behringer brakes right on the line. That was good. That was really good, Tori. He's going to be in around the 75-foot category. He is making a run for the title. All right, Josh is back around. He kind of recycled to the end here. What a great, just all-around fun family airplane. Can you imagine flying around the summer, the door open, your kids or your wife or loved one in the back of that airplane, checking out the sights in the winter, throwing it on skis? Another great American Legend product, stopping in less than 170 feet, no flaps. Okay, so he's at a disadvantage. A lot tougher to take off and land short. But showing you what that classic Piper design that's been modified and improved by American Legend can do. Good job, Josh. So glad you're up here. That's one of the neat things about traveling around the country. Everywhere we go, we just get to run into more people. You meet more friends. You meet more fans. You meet more airplane nuts. You get to learn different things. We're recycling all the groups back through right here. Great look. Of course, Hal is known as the most famous guy on the internet that is not on the internet. And we're not kidding. Hal has nothing. He doesn't have a cell phone that has capability. He is a bare-bones, simple-minded man. But he's got a heart of gold. Love his airplane. He actually takes the tail wheel off and uses a tail skid to help slow him down and stop him, reduce his weight. A lot of these airplanes are operating with a very aft CG, and that means they put some weight as far back on the airplane as they can. You'll see scuba diving weights, sandbags, tool bags, wide variety of things. The further aft you can get it, the less weight you have to have. The less weight you have in your airplane, the lighter it is, which means it flies slower, which means it takes off shorter and it lands shorter. Yeehaw! There you go, buddy. Beautiful Oratex covering on Yeehaw 6 there, one of the Flying Cowboys, and his 4-4 race number for Reno STOL Drag Racing. Hal will be there with Lawnmower 3, and of course number 3 on the tail. Oh, so Hal has a saying, he can't beat him with horsepower, so he beats him with lightweight. So he focuses on just making the airplane as light as possible. And you can see he's operating within, 10% of what Jason Boussat's doing with his Rans Coyote here and what Yeehaw 6 is doing. So Jason he upgraded the motor this year to this Edge Tune Performance Yamaha. Actually works with the guys over in Norway and Australia over the internet. Phone lines to tune that motor. Nice takeoff coming in at around 60 feet. Now you will notice the Legend Cub here, the Model 11, does have VGs to help it get airborne a little sooner. He's running, looks like 29-inch bush wheels on it. But otherwise, it's pretty much just a stock production airplane for him. Oh, he was within a half a second of having that one timed perfectly. That airplane thought about flying as soon as the tail wheel hit, and then it just took one slight little break and waited. Whew, the action's making me thirsty here. This breeze is feeling good. We need a little more right down the runway. It would be so fun to let everybody see a takeoff that's in the 10, 20, 30-foot range. And Jason Boussat and Steve Henry are both capable of doing that. A little bit of grass blowing around. Got some grass in the mouth here. This Yamaha is turning around 10,000 RPM through a prop reduction gearbox at full power. Steve pumps up the brakes, pumps them some more. He'll actually skid the tires before he gets to full power. Right there. Oh! That is 35, 32 feet. That is right in there, some of his shortest stuff. Now, Steve has a couple different techniques. You saw in this case, he picked up the tail, let the airplane accelerate, and then rotated to lift off. If he gets about 10, 12 mile an hour wind on the face or the nose of that airplane, he'll never pick up the tail. He'll just go full power and skid the tires, and it'll just roll from a three-point attitude and literally levitate into the air. All right, Hal had a perfect landing last time. Let's see if he can improve on it. He can be as aggressive as he wants. Looking out the right-hand side, gets it right there. Nice. Perfect. Much better. That one actually came in, I would say, probably 10, 12 feet shorter than his last one. I like that. All right. Come on, Jason. Not only is Jason a great guy, he's had a rough year. A lot of hardships in his family, and I think everybody here would be rooting. We'd love to see Jason walk away with a podium here. Look at that. Run the tail wheel. Oh, now remember, the tail wheel doesn't count against your scratch. And I've actually seen him fly the airplane down the runway with a little wind, keeping the tail on the ground, and then when he gets to the line, he chops the power and lets those Acme Aero shocks absorb all the energy on impact. And that's what he was trying there, but it quit flying just a hair early. Realize these guys, they're not looking at airspeed indicators. There's no stall warnings. It's all by feel. It's all by practice. And they're flying 1 to 2 mile an hour above the stall speed of these airplanes. We have a 108 versus a 127 score for the lead today in the Light Sport Light Experimental. I'm not going to tell you which airplane is winning right now. Is it Lawnmower 3? Is it Jason Boussat? Is it Yeehaw? I don't know. What I do know is that we've got Colin Caneva sitting right over here, and I'm going to try to see if I can get him over on the camera and on the microphone. And Colin and the Old Green Plane, welcome to Sodbusters. Dude, it is so great to have you up here. Your first time to compete in a traditional STOL. 200 hours in that sport cub of yours.
Uh-huh.
Holy smokes. Nice flying. How was it for you?
Thanks, brother. Well, I tell you what, it was a blast. The crowd is awesome. I was following a guy with slats and everything else, so it was hard to stay as slow as he was. I kept thinking I was going to get on top of him.
So it was good flying. It's just been great competition all the way across. We're down to, we got a 108-foot combination right now in the lightweight, the heavyweight, lightweight guys here. I won't tell you whether it's Henry Boussat or Hal that has it, but here's that Yamaha. Oh, drops the flaps, drops it in high, right on the line. Steve Henry showing why he has pretty much won everything he has ever competed in. He was a motocross racer originally, a flat track racer, running wing sprints. His daughter Sarah's out here running all his videography and social media, and she's a hardcore, serious motorcycle rider herself, and of course they can whiz a one-wheel around the entire United States like nobody's business. We'd love to have the Henry family here. I wish Kathy was out. She's back in Boise holding down the fort.
You just absolutely won't find a more fierce but fun competitor than Steve Henry.
No, not at all. Oh, my God. Hal has a modern helmet. He has a lift helmet. It's something that he didn't get at a hardware store or build himself. I don't think I've ever seen Hal do anything in the modern age.
He keeps it simple.
He does keep it simple, keep it light. Let's see if he can finish up, though. He's, it's kind of like me finishing second to the Dirty Bird all the time, Jeff Pohl. Hal's just kind of used to finishing second or third to Steve Henry. I'd love to see him move up on the podium, knock Jason or Steve off for a second or first place. Of course, Yeehaw modifies that airplane, whether he's STOL dragging it. He actually adds 3 feet of wingtip extensions for STOL competitions like this. You see the fences, the leading edge slats, a wide variety of mods. And if you've got a Highlander aircraft, call Steve up. He can talk to you about mods. Or, oh, yeah. Nice job there, buddy. He didn't mow much lawn with that one at all, Colin. He got it airborne.
No, he got that one up pretty quick. Now, when he revs this thing up, listen for that turbo to wind up and just start popping when he gets that thing wound way up.
Yeah, and I think you actually hear him probably hit up against a rev limiter at the very end of it. He's got this thing tuned. It is going. That was like a 3 count. Power up, spool in 1, release the brakes, stick forward at 2, stick back at 3, fly.
Absolutely. He gets off so fast. You don't realize how hard these guys are working in the cockpit. When you watch them out here, it looks like a finely tuned ballerina, but they're working their butts off in those planes.
And there's so much technique and feel and timing to it. It's like I say, it's all just experience. And it's happening in a split second, and the difference between a half second early or a half second late on a control input equates to 10 feet of distance. And 10 feet is 20-30% of what he might need to land. So it really is. It's not just hanging on to brute horsepower.
Yeah, and when you're competing against a class like this and pilots like this, it almost gets down to inches instead of feet.
It really does. It really does. So were you happy with your flight today, Colin?
Well, the last one, not really. I thought that I was stopped, and I noticed when I wound back up, I noticed the judge was still following me, so I put brakes back on again, and I think I got under 300.
Yeah, I noticed that. I might have beaten you on that one, but yeah, I was not happy, especially with my third pass. I didn't even bring it to a stop on the third one. It just wasn't there. My second one, I think, was probably my best, but I wasn't happy with the first. I definitely hope to improve tomorrow because today was not what I wanted out of it.
Well, I think, happy or sad about your performance, Jughead. The reality of it is we're here having a ball and doing exactly what we want to be doing.
Well, that's it. And for everybody out on joining us on the live feed and general aviation, it doesn't matter what you're flying, whether you're the guy that loves to go shoot an approach to minimums, whether you want to go to the air shows, whether you just want to sightsee around and get a $100 hamburger. Just get out, share aviation with people. Invite new people out to your hangar, out to the airport. Look at that kid hanging over the fence, drooling, offer him a ride, and help grow this great lifestyle. It is so underappreciated now.
The general aviation so we just heard over our headset some pretty interesting news.
Yeah, we did. So we are down to So Steve Henry was leading this competition. Jason Boussat has just knocked him off on a shorter takeoff, 3 feet shorter. So it is going to come down to this landing. It is going to decide who wins the light experimental category. The heavyweights, the high-power, screamer, lighter, faster, stronger guys, the ones that are really pushing the limit, pilot and airframe engine-wise, for today's win.
Look at how he keeps that nose up and just
right
hangs
there. It is.
up.
There it is. That's it. That's the winning landing. I bet you. Come on, less than 50 feet, is it? Oh, they're going to give him, I think, 60, maybe 59.
Let's hear it for that pilot.
Woo, yeah. Jason Boussat, our Canadian buddy. The good news is Well, actually, the bad news is he only had one winter to modify that airplane and put that engine in. The good news is winter in Alberta is even longer than the winter in Minnesota. Jason's leading by 4 feet.
Oh,
a little short. The Legend dropped in, but he's been improving all day, and great effort there by Joshua to show exactly what that American Legend airplane will do. No flaps, and that was sweet.
Sweet.
He was beating me on my airplane.
You know, Jughead, you touched on something about community in the culture of general aviation. You just can't find a better group of people, and then you look across out in the field here today, and what a culmination of just fantastic pilots and fantastic camaraderie. Get it up.
Oh,
that's a heartbreaker.
that is, but that's part of learning. That's just part of the industry. I've seen people scratch that far back before as well. And, of course, we couldn't thank Aviata Husky enough. You know, faster, stronger, more. It's where everything is just improved. Luxury, backcountry flying. You go look at Austin's airplane, incredible performer. And then I've flown Huskies. They're so comfortable. They're so spacious. They're fast in cruise. They're fun to fly. As long as you don't hit your head on that hinge on the flap, you're all right. But, you know, on the Cessna, I keep putting the diamond plate into my forehead as well. So every airplane's got its little gotcha that'll bite you.
That's right.
Okay, here it is.
Go.
This is all it. This is the whole marbles right here.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Short!
Oh, no.
No! Short! Busted! I think Jason's going to go home with the day win. Oh, my gosh. Hey, look at there. Let's go flying. Corey, I think that's a dang fine idea. You know, we just got done flying, but we should fly more later today.
Absolutely.
So, hopefully you had fun out there with Ghost, and we'll talk about it more later. So, what a day's competition here at Sodbusters STOL, brought to you by Ladd Gardner Aviation, American Legend Aircraft, AirTech Coatings, Acme Aero, of course, Madden's Resort. Great time last night. We might have to head back out there tonight and we got time this afternoon. Maybe go get some golf in or go enjoy some more wonderful food. Of course, you can get your souvenirs here from the Sodbusters STOL right behind us. They're selling T-shirts, hats, other memorabilia, and, of course, the pilots will be around as well. I'm waiting for the bosses in the booth to see if they can give me some official tallies today to announce. Otherwise, we'll come back on the air just a little bit later. But, woo, it was too close to call. I can't tell if it was Jason or Steve, or did Hal sneak one in there on us?
Down to inches. Here we go.
And I know in the heavy touring it's too close to tall. I think Andrew Patry in his 182 was leading it, but it's hard to say. So we're going to go to a commercial here real quick, and we're going to come back, and we should have the scores for everybody.
My name is Mary Alverson, and I own Wings Over Water Seaplane Training. I operate out of Madden's Resort up here in Brainerd, Minnesota, and we have 2 airplanes. We have a Cessna 172 on amphibs and a Super Cub on straight floats. The Super Cub is kept here on Madden's property, so in the morning, if you get your rating here in the morning after breakfast, you have breakfast and you hop in the airplane and we go fly. You don't even leave the resort. Madden's is owned and operated by a seaplane family, and you will have the experience of a lifetime here. If you're from out of town or out of state, this is the perfect place to get your seaplane rating. You're staying at the finest resort in Minnesota, and that in itself is an experience. And then you get your seaplane rating on top of that. What could be better?
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good. Let's meet up at the compound group up. At 10-4. Yeah, driver, straight on through.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Sodbusters STOL. We've got our scores. Let's go over here to the computer in our light experimental light sport category with a winning score of 104 feet. That is a combination of his takeoff and his landing. It is 4 feet better than second place. Steve Henry's in second. Jason Boussat wins it today at 104 feet. Hal Stockman comes in third. Congratulations. Moving to our alternate bush class. We are looking at a winning score of 231. That is Pops Dory in his experimental Coyote Ugly Cub. Second place is, holy smokes, the new boy, Colin Caneva in the old green plane in second place out there at a total of 244. And third place is Brian Steck in our mother of all Cubs, American legend, beautiful airplane. Great to have the sponsor up on the podium with us. Now, for our bush class. This is the class I flew with, so if Austin, don't feel bad if I actually beat you off with this, okay? Let's go look at the numbers. It was probably close. 280 for a winning score with the Husky National STOL represented airplane, Austin Clemens. Oh, that kid is so good. He has put more time and practice into his art, and it shows because, once again, he is on the podium for today. Second place, 482, is Alan with his Husky.
You flew with that class third.
All righty. So, yeah. Oh, I don't like that score of me right there. That's terrible. That's terrible. Looking at do we got light touring? There we go. All righty. Coming in at first place at 343 feet is our rookie, Micah Lindstrom. Nice job, kid. Up from Malacca, Minnesota, one of the locals. First contest, first day's events, and he is on the leaderboard. Wow. Okay. Second place coming in, Dirty Bird. Dirty Bird got second. Yay! You finally finished second to somebody, buddy. I like it. I like it. Combined score of 359. And our third place in our light touring is Kenneth Monger. I told everybody that guy has been working on his technique, working on his airplane, and it paid off today with third place. Our heavy touring category scores now. Let's see. Oh, my gosh. Look at that. A combined 229. That is Matt Shantz, Colorado kid, showing how to get it done. Right behind him, 50 feet later at 279, William Gilstrap in his 182. And then in third place, Warren Grobler, our Florida boy, in his beautiful 180 at 334. Look at that. So what a great day of flying. Realize what's happening out here today, folks, is just the preliminaries. Tomorrow's we've got the finals, so we encourage everybody to get back out here, get tuned in online. I'd like to thank everybody here locally over at Papa Joe's for bringing out their wonderful food van and truck. Thanks for giving me some nutrients out here. It's been a super fun day thanks to Aircraft Sport Aircraft Seats. Easy for me to say, oh my gosh. And my name is John Jughead Council. It has been great to be the voice of the action here at Sodbusters STOL. We hope everybody has a great time. We'll see you tomorrow. We're out. God bless you.
welcome to Swamp Stol in Jennings, Louisiana.
Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. I got something for you, a little more for you. You won't believe your eyes. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. Just watch me now. Just watch me now.
He got on that reversible prop as soon as his Alaska bush wheels hit the turf. That was outstanding. Boom. Now, did you see the shocks play out?
I did.
He was completely out of it. Jeff Womack, ladies and gentlemen, he's got a GoPro on that thing. Sacrilege. He's got a GoPro on a 2-cylinder, 39 horsepower, 1934 Aeronautica C3. And here he goes, ladies and gentlemen. No tail wheel, just a tail skid.
I guess I'm going to go hold the baby alligator. See you guys later.